Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm gonna be doing an updated foundation routine. I am oily. I'm oily throughout the whole year. If you guys want to see how I did this beautiful base makeup, then let's go ahead and get into the video. Hey guys, welcome back. So I'm doing a foundation routine, an updated one. So I already have my eyebrows on and eyes for the most part. For brows, I used the Beauty Creations brow definer. This is in the number 5, and so did my brows really quick. And then I used the Morphe 35G for the eyes, and the lashes I'm wearing are Lily Lashes, the synthetic ones in Dallas. I do already have my face primed. I used my Fenty Pro Filter foundation. I had to get the mini, unfortunately, because the big one was sold out at my Sephora and I really didn't feel like ordering it. So I'm gonna go ahead and color correct around my mouth and under eyes. I feel like my bags just keep getting deeper and deeper. It has been a rough week here in Texas with the snow and ice and crazy grocery stores. I'm gonna go ahead and color correct using the LA Girl Pro Concealer in orange, the orange dark corrector. And I'm just going to put this right where my bags are, right in like the little divot there, and then just around here. Color correcting is optional, but for me, I just like to, so that there's like no gray cast around my mouth. I'm going to blend that out with my e.l.f. sponge, and this is only $5. So now that that's blended out, everything's looking a little bit better. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on to foundation. For foundation, I'm going to be using the Morphe foundation in Rich 28 and the NARS Soft Matte in Macao. I'm gonna do about like a pump of each. And that is what they look like. So this is the Morphe and then this is the NARS, and I'm just gonna mix that up and then dot it all over my face. To blend that out, I'm going to be using the Morphe foundation brush that came with the foundation. Before I blend this out, I'm going to be taking my Charlotte Tilbury airbrush setting spray, and I'm just going to spray the face. Doing this is just going to help lock in your makeup to help it last longer, and I do have very oily skin, and this setting spray is bomb at locking your makeup. I'm just going to tap that in. So my foundation is on. Everything's blended, looking pretty nice. So now we're gonna go ahead and move on to concealer. The first one I'm gonna use is gonna be like a skin tone concealer, and I'm gonna be using the Benefit Boing Concealer in number 10. And I am going to place that mostly right where my bags are, and bring that on the side of my nose to like reverse contour. So I'm gonna take that same sponge and blend out my chin and bring it around my mouth to the bridge of my nose, and then underneath my eye, because this concealer does dry down a little bit faster. And that's what we're looking like with the first concealer. Now I'm gonna be taking a little bit lighter of a shade. I'm gonna be taking the Juvia's Place I Am Magic concealer in number 16. This is a little bit lighter, so I'm just going to take this right here. And I'm gonna let that set, and I'm gonna move on to cream bronzer. I'll be using the Huda Beauty Tantour in medium, and I'm gonna be using that same foundation brush and just dip into the Tantour and just tap all along my temple, my forehead, my cheekbone. I'm gonna cream contour my nose using that same Huda Beauty product, and I'm gonna be taking this Wet n Wild concealer brush, just taking a little bit and adding the product. So now I'm going to flip it to the clean side of my sponge, and I'm just going to go over all those areas that we used the cream bronzer, just so everything has a seamless blend and there is no harshness or line of demarcation. And now I'm going to go ahead and blend out that concealer using this side that I used to blend out my concealer. I'm just going to tap that and bring it out. And you can already see how this just like brightens up the face. Now that all of that is blended out, to set my face, I'm going to be taking the One Size Beauty translucent powder to set underneath my eyes, using that same sponge and tapping off the excess, because you just want a thin layer just to set. I'm gonna set my forehead and put a little bit of the translucent powder on my brows. I do get oily brows, so this just helps lock it in. So this is how the skin is looking so far. So to set the rest of my face, I'm gonna be taking my Fenty powder, the Fenty Pro Filter powder in 410, and this is what the shade looks like. And I'm just gonna be taking my Morphe E1 brush and just using that to set everywhere that I didn't highlight. Now I'm just gonna add back some warmth to my skin, and I'm gonna be taking the Makeup Revolution Splendor matte bronzer in medium to bronze my face, just to add a little bit more warmth and color. I normally use the dark because I like to contour with that, but the medium is growing on me for like a nice, like more warmer, like natural, like bronzer, not necessarily contour. So I've been getting more into like bronzing than contouring, but sometimes I just can't help myself. Now I'm just gonna be taking a flat, fluffy brush like this with that same bronzer, and just go where I did the contour to blend it out. And so I just made sure to do the 2 lines, and just to get this part mostly diffused because I'm gonna actually bake on the sides, so that's gonna make it look smaller. Go back into my sponge and into that one size powder, and I am going to squeeze the sides and get right on the sides of the nose and bake. And then go a little bit in the middle. I'm also gonna clean up the sides here. Drag it to about where my chin is. And while this is baking, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to blush. I'm gonna be using the BH Cosmetics Bellini blush palette, and these are the shades, these 3. So this pink, this mauve, and like this peachy shade. So I'll mix these 3. And I'm just gonna be using my M437 just to mix those together. So now I'm just gonna be taking that powder foundation brush and just blending that away. And as you can see, that looks a lot better. So now it's my favorite part highlighter. Okay, I'm gonna be using 2 highlighters, but I'm gonna do one at a time. The first highlighter I'm gonna start off with is gonna be the Artist Couture Diamond Luxe Luminizer, and this is in Honey Drip. And that is what it looks like. It's your basic like bronzy gold shade. So it's like a darker bronzy highlighter. I like to layer my highlighters. So I'll use like a darker one and then do a lighter one on top. I'll be taking the Artist Couture highlighter brush and dipping into that. And I'm just going to highlight the tops of the cheekbones. And then the tip of the nose. Down the bridge. And this is like a perfect like everyday highlight for like darker skin tone. For me it looks just cute. You can see the shine when it hits the light, but for me I love a little champagne highlighter, so I gotta amp this up. So I'm gonna be using my Fenty Beauty highlighter. This is an Afternoon Snack and Mo Honey. And so this is Mo Honey and Afternoon Snack. That's what they look like. So they're just like a champagne pinky color to like really amp it up. This one is like a little bit more glittery, which I don't mind. So I actually mix these two and just hit it in the center. I also like to do this with a loose powder as well. Where I'll take like a pressed powder and do that as the base, and then a loose and just like pop it right at the high points. And then I'm gonna be taking the Morphe M152 and I'm just going to dip in with that same Fenty highlighter, and I'm gonna use that as my brow bone highlight. So right here. Just to set the face, I'm gonna be using that Charlotte Tilbury spray. And I'm gonna take my fan. Let it dry down for a little bit. And then I'm gonna take the bottom, which is clean, and just press all of that into the skin. And I'm gonna finish up my makeup and I will be right back with the final look. All right, so this is the final look. My face looks flawless and my makeup is going to last all day. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you try out these tips and tricks and let me know how it works out for you. That completes today's video and I will catch you in my next one.